Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to discuss Indian Contract Law or Indian Contract Act 2 Labor Law. It's going to be useful for the people who are preparing for LLB, other competitive exams. Let us get into today's topic, that is labor law. Today we are going to discuss historical and evolutions of labor law, which is going to be very easy topic. I have referred many books and made a topic very simple and easy. Go through this video for many times for your better understanding, and I have also given many case laws related to this. So go through this video for many times for your better understanding. Without wasting much time, let us get into today's topic: labor law, history and evolution of labor law. So evolution is nothing but like master-slave relationship, right? What happened back in 1900 or 1600? What was the labors or situations, relationship between master-slave relationship? Those are the things that we are going to understand. So labor law has always evolved and the means to regulate the relationship between employees and employers, and they ensure fair wages and safe working conditions and social security and protect workers from the exploitation. The master-slave relationship is nearly societal format, the foundations of labor law, which have since evolved in the comprehensive legal framework and worldwide. So later, if you can understand master slaves relationship with an origin and labor law, ancient period, what happened? The labor in ancient civilization, including India, Greece, Rome, was mostly a mostly a forced labors or bonded labors, with the slave and serfs having no rights. Right. Medieval elites, what happened? The medieval European Indian labor was organized into guilds that regulated work and trained and comprehensive compensation. Industrial revolution started in the year or in the century 18th and 19th century, with the industrialization. Factory owners exploited workers and leading to demand for the better working conditions. So industrial revolution broke out in the century of 18th 19th centuries, and the labor movement started, and traders started trade and union and workers movements the 19th century, and they were started protesting against the factories and masters. So then comes into picture is the union and the labor movement. The trade union emerged as collective organization representing the workers to bargain for the better wages and working conditions and social security, all that, right? So our main object of labor movement was that, industrial harmony, economic justice, and safety and community and better working condition and decent standard of life, avoid and reduce the improper and state layoff, retirements and lockout, all those things to be given properly, right? To provide for the preventions and industrial dispute through works committee. So main object was that to get a better wages and better working conditions, all that. So what is the impact of the on India? Labor movement in India started in the year 1918 to 1920s. The first major labor strikes occurred in India, and then All India Trade Union Congress, that is AITUCL, was established, and 1926 Trade Union Act 1926 was enacted. This chapter is all about 1926. We will definitely learn this elaborately, so concentrate on this. So before that, we have to understand what was the conditions, what was the condition of the employees and employers, and what was the relationship between the master slaves, why all these things has been come into the picture. So enactment of Trade Union Act 1926. The Trade Union Act 1926 was the landmark law in India and recognized the regulated and trade union. So key features of the Trade Union Act of 1926 was the as we already said, legal recognition for the trade unions. So as a workers, they should be having a legal unions for the strikes, and lockdowns or procession. For all that, they should be having a proper unions to let them know what is the scenario and situation that they are going through, protection from the civil and criminal liability for the collective actions, and the rights. They have the rights and duties to trade union defined, and the regulation of trade funds and registration. So what is the impact of this is the act legislative the trade union movement in India and enable the collective bargaining. In international level also, there was an international labor organization conservated conversions and trade unions. So India is also as a part of ILO. So ILO established in 1919 before independence, after the World War. So he has played a crucial role in labor rights, and it sets global standards for labor law through the conservations and the common recommendations. Post World War period, when World War first broke out, there was a sudden revisions of all the resources to cater to war needs, and the employers were dependent on the laborers. Then the laborers realized that the employees need them as much as they need their employers. They gave them bargaining the position. So post-war, at the time of World War, all these resources were given to the World War, so they didn't had much rights to fight for their rights. So after that, they after this First World War, they started organizing the unions. Revolution of ILO conservations of trade union. ILO conservations number 87, freedom of association and protection of right to organize, 1948, ensures workers' rights from the joint trade union. ILO conservation conventions and the right to organize and collective bargaining started in 1949 and protects the workers from the anti-union discriminations. So constitutional provisions related to labor law in India. So what are the constitution? What does constitution say? What does the article says? The Indian constitution provides the fundamental rights and directive principle to protect the workers from all kind of exploitations. First, we have already studied in the first semester the right to form union, right to trade. Article 19G says right to trade, and Article 23 and 24 says prohibit from the forced and child labor. And directive principle of state policy says that, Article 38 says promote the social justice and right to work and public assistance and living wages for the workers, right? And the major case laws related to trade union and labor rights. So if you can read most of the cases, more cases, then it will be more useful for you to write answers so that you can understand what is the concept all about. First case is Kamgar Sabha versus Abdullah Faizbai. In this issue, when the unrecognized trade union has the right to bargain collectivity. So fact of this case was trade union demanded recognized from the employer. The employer, Abdullah Faizul Bhai, refused to recognize the unrecognized union and denied the collective bargaining rights. So the workers filed a petition claiming their rights to bargain the collectively. So it is all about, the thing is, like, employers organized was denied from the employer. So background of this case was the Trade Union 1926 grants certain privileges to register the trade union. The case examined whether an under-registered trade union had the same right as the registered union. So coming classes, we will be discussing how to register the union, trade unions, all that. So this case is all about that. The Supreme Court held that the registered trade union enjoys special rights and protection under the Trade Union Act 1926. Unregistered union could still function, but they did not have the legal status and demand recognition and claim collective bargaining rights. So upcoming classes, we definitely take a class on how to register, what are the eligibilities, all that. So next case is Balmer Lowry Workers Union versus Balmer Lowry and Companies, 1984. The issue was whether the company's refusal to negotiate with a minority trade union is valid. So fact of this case is Balmer Lowry Workers Union is representing a minority. Okay, they are a minority employees demanded for recognition and negotiation with the employer. Okay, so the company, the Balmer Lowry Company refused to negotiate with the minority union and only recognized the majority union, right? The workers union challenged their decision and claiming it as violated a right to representations. So in India, multiple trade unions often exist in the same workplace and issues whether the minority union should have the rights to collective bargaining. So what is the court's judgment? Court upheld that employers must negotiate with a recognized majority trade union for a collective bargaining. Minority union have the rights to exit but cannot force employers to negotiate with them. So decision upheld that importance of recognition of majority trade union to ensure the industrial stability. Okay, I hope you understood this case. Next case is Bharat Bank Limited versus Employees, 1950. So in this case, issue was whether the industrial tribunals are subject to judicial review. So fact of this case is Bharat Bank dismissed the several employees leading to the dispute. So the matter was referred to industrial tribunal, which ruled in favor of the employees. The employer challenged the tribunal's decision, arguing it violated their rights and was not subject to judicial review. Background of this case, as you all know, the case questioned whether the industrial tribunal functions the judicial bodies and whether their decision should be reviewed. Judgment, Supreme Court upheld that industry tribunals performs quasi-judicial functions and their decision can be reviewed by courts, and if they violated legal principles or fundamental rights, the case established judicial review over the industrial disputes. So I hope you understood. Next one is Olga Tellis versus Bombay Municipal Corporation, 1985. Issue whether the rights to livelihood is fundamental right. So first we'll understand facts. The Bombay Municipal Corporation, BMC, decided to demolish slum dwelling and evict pavement dwellers in Mumbai. So the evicted people represented by social activists and challenged the decision, claiming that forced evictions violated their right to livelihood. So as you know, the background of the case is the case addressed whether the right to livelihood is a part of the right to life, Article 21 of the Indian Constitution. What does Supreme Court say on this? The court upheld that no, the right to livelihood is included in Article 21, right to life. The government cannot evict people arbitrarily without providing adequate rehabilitations. However, the municipal corporation's actions were legal, but alternatively, shelters must be provided. The judgment was significant in expanding the scope of Article 21 and including social, economic and rights. Next case is People's Union for Democratic Rights versus Union of India, 1982. The issue was exploiting of workers in the Asian Games constructions projects. Fact of the case was filed by the People's Union Democratic Rights, that is PUDR, regarding the exploitations of workers in the construction projects for the 1982 Asian Games in Delhi. Workers were paid below minimum wages and workers in hazardous conditions, and no social security. So background of the case raised concern about the violation of labor rights and fundamental rights under the Minimum Wages Act and Bonded Labours Act and Abolitions Act and all. So judgment on this, what does the Supreme Court say on this? The violated the labor law is violations of fundamental rights, Article 14, 21 and 23, and the state responsible for ensure for their wages and safe working condition and public interest litigations can be filed by NGO and activists protect labor rights. The judgment was significant, recognizing workers' rights and fundamental rights and exploiting PIL in India, including why labor law matters. Labor law involved to protect workers' rights and regulate the industrial relationship, and trade union plays a crucial role in India in collective bargaining and workers' welfare. The Trade Union Act 1926 was landmark legislations and legislation structure the trade union movement in India. ILO conventions and the constitutional provisions ensures that the workers' rights are protected. I hope I have given you the brief introduction and explanations about what is labor law, or what is evaluations of history and labor law of this. Do like my videos and subscribe my channel for more updates. Thank you and have a great day.